Hi, this is Father Tom Page again, the administrator of St. Anne's in Baldwin, and here I am in the sanctuary of the church here. Also St. Ignatius in Luther, and I'm also the pastor at St. Jude's in Grand Rapids. And today I'd like to just highlight a line that you might miss in next Sunday's gospel. The next Sunday is the first of two special feasts that we have to begin the season, the ordinary time. Isn't it nice to be talking about ordinary time? And so we're in church, in the church world, we're entering into ordinary time, even this week. And so the first line of the Gospel from St. John that we'll be reading for the Feast of the Holy Trinity next Sunday is that what you see on football games and basketball games, John 3:16, Jesus so loved the world, or God so loved the world that he sent his own Son for us so that we might have eternal life. But I want to highlight the next line. It says this: "For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world might be saved through him." And today, maybe as we kind of get ready for that feast of the Trinity, we might recognize that that's the kind of God that we have. Not the kind of God that's looking for an excuse to condemn us, but we have the kind of God that's wanting to help us to live life fully and live life eternally. And as we continue into this ordinary time, into this new ordinary time in a sense, we do that with the assurance that we have a God who is passionate about making sure that we, God's children, know that he sent his Son so that we might be saved from the despair that we might sometimes feel, saved from our faults and our failures, saved from anything that would keep us from living as fully and completely as we can live in this world and in the world to come. Let me reflect back a little bit on this past weekend. It was an interesting weekend for sure. The first time in our diocese that we had masses on the weekend with a congregation there. And if you thought, and not many people came, which was a good thing, I think. People who weren't too sure about their health or other people's health, they thought, let's sit this one out for a while and look at getting to church later, or maybe at a different time, in a different setting. And that's smart. And so we had here at St. Anne's and at St. Ignatius and at St. Jude, a relatively small grouping of people. We had 50 people for a couple of our masses at St. Jude and 70 people for another mass at St. Jude. Here there was, how many? 40 people at St. Anne's. And I'm not quite sure about St. Ignatius, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was kind of in that same neighborhood. So we're starting small, which is good because then we've gone through the exercise of figuring out how people get in, how they make it to communion. And what we found is that people were extremely receptive and extremely respectful of other people by wearing masks in church, by sanitizing their hands before they came in and as they went back out. That just kind of said to me, yeah, the things you see on TV and everybody says, yes, we're in this together. um, you can see it at Mass this weekend. So it was a good and a successful beginning. And we'll probably continue to grow a little bit, but I just, if you've got a condition that you want to make sure you're not catching something, this is a good time to just kind of, find it on TV or find it on Facebook and experience that part of Mass then. And then one day, we'll all someday be here at St. Anne's or at St. Ignatius or at St. Jude's and worship together. That day's coming. That day will happen. But for now, we do it slowly. We'll keep growing and growing and growing. We'll get more comfortable and more comfortable. And I think that's the way it ought to be when anybody, any group of people gather, to be comfortable with our safety level and our health level, and it's important that especially people of the church feel safe and feel healthy. So until next time, I'll keep my prayers going for you, and see some of you either on the internet or in person. I'll be here in Luther and in Baldwin this coming weekend for the second weekend of, actually the first week, the 6th and the 7th of June. And then the next week, Father DeCosta will return. He was here last week. So I'll be seeing you in one way or another, hopefully very soon. Thank you.
Wonderful.